right. So we're back in the tube barn. It's been a while. That's okay. I've been working on a project. I mentioned in the last video. I think it's gonna be sweet low ass. Sweet low ass. All right, I got a sweet ass going on here. This is gonna be sweet low amp. Now, it's a little messy. Not everything is connected, so it's not as disgusting and gross as it looks because nothing is buttoned down. I have relays that I'm still working on. Of course, I decided to go with 5 relays in this amp, which is like, Jesus, guy. I don't know if I honestly don't remember what I said in the last video. It's a 2-channel, 6L6, 100 watt. We have 4 6L6 GCs in this. Bam, 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 bam. 2-channel, 3-stage each channel. Now, I think in the first video I did, if you want to look at the first video, number 1, for people who don't know what number signs are or pound signs is hashtag, because you're all young and don't understand anything other than now, is video number 1. I showed a quick snippet of a amp. It was a video, it was a YouTube video. If you want to look at it, it is the PSB CH1100 or PSB CH1100. That is channel 1. It was a goddamn good circuit. It's very clean. Clean but strong, very loud. It's a very, very good amp. Now the one that I just built, I'm putting that in here as well as a second channel. But I'm modding it just a little bit. Well, one, we're using 6L6s and not instead of EL34s. Now, one thing I've done, and I've actually never done this before, but that's dirty. But I wanted to do it, especially since with the issue with noise we had in the previous amp. Tube 1, Tube 3, which are also, in this one, it's stage 1 and 2A, because in this one, and it's kind of a my design, and I'll put those quotes there, my design, because like I said, this is very old technology, but it's my design in the way that I don't really see people do this very often. And the amp, I found it to be very nice. It wasn't a high gain amp, but it was still just, it was very just goddamn good amp. So I like the way it was. And that is, it is a plate follower. Cathode follower, plate follower. Now, when I use the term plate follower, I include the full tube. It's technically it's a plate follower into a cathode follower, but that's the way I look at it. And they usually don't do that, as opposed to this one where it's plate, plate, cathode follower. I like it in there. You have your plate follower, your cathode follower, your tone stack, and it finishes off nice with another plate follower. It worked. You generally don't see it too much, at least I haven't seen it too much, but it's a goddamn fantastic circuit. Especially if you want a clean amp, and you basically, is what I call pedal junkie. If you're a pedal freak, that is the amp you want, because you're getting a nice tube flavored amp. You can adjust if you want just a little bit more flavor on there. I did not do the gain and master switching on this channel. I'm leaving it as that, as a clean. And play with your tubes. Sorry, play with your pedals. Play with your pedals, flavor that thing as much as you want, and just get that nice tube feel, just underlaying, overlaying, however you want to look at it with your pedals. Now we're going over here, and that's what we had. I do have the gain volume switching on this. It is a high gain circuit. It's going to be nice. I thought it was very successful in the last amp, putting the cathode cap switching. So I have cathode cap switching on both. This one, a little bit different. I think I put a 16 on this. I got a 250 and a 250. We're gonna go fat with the 250s when we want it. But this one's got your 1 UF. This one got, I think, a 16 UF. So it's a little more flavorful naturally as opposed to the Marshall circuit. And that's gonna be great. Am I using my orange drops here, my Mallory's here. I was very successful with these. I like them. Using a little bit more shielded cable in here. Like I said, it's a freaking mess right now. The 2 channels are a pain in the ass. If you're able to get a deep enough pan and stack them, that would be freaking wonderful. Working on it would be a bitch. But you can see I got these going to here. This is the problem with the 2 channel when you're going wide. All my pots are here. You got to worry about it. You got to do a lot of mitigating. Like here, I may want to pull these and change them and reroute them if I get any issues. Like don't worry, I got all this crap in the way. This is not even tied together yet, so yeah. Don't worry about that. Oh, I didn't mention this. I was talking about it and I got sideways. You know me and tangents. So the 1 and 2B and 1 and 2, we're talking about stages. Stage 1, stage 2A. First channel. Second channel, stage 1, stage 2. I have DC heaters. So one thing that was a problem was you get that hum with the high gain amps. I had an issue with the transformer where I had the double taps in the secondaries for the heaters. So I basically said, screw that, we're not using those higher taps this time, except for relays. But I decided to use those second taps to get my 6.3 DC heaters. And I'm gonna do that. And you're in those first, the first stages, the problem is, it's not like you can just do 1 heater. You gotta do it 2. So you're stuck with that, and which is fine. It's good, but that whole half of it is DC, half of it not. Should be fine. We're gonna find out. Experimentation should be good. Less is more. More is more. More is less. I don't know. And that's what this is here. I put underneath my regulators. Like you saw me building the last amp, the last series. Goddamn no room inside the amp. So I decided to put my power regulators on the bottom. I have both the 5 volt for the relays and the 6.3 DC heater on the bottom. So they go back to, I connected them here, went down, they connect and come back up, and I have these little lugs, and that should be good. I'm hoping this is all good. I think this is the amp that's gonna be really, really super nice. If I ever build the same thing twice, this will be easier. I have ideas if I build this amp again just to make it cleaner. Cleaner is the issue. We talked about that layout. I think this layout is decent. If you notice, I didn't use cans. Didn't use can caps. I got my, I think it's a 22. Got a 22 cap here dealing with the plates directly. Another one here. I put them here. I decided to put them all on the board. As much as I like the cans, they're a pain in the ass to use. They're hard to drill the damn thing. They're always in a wrong spot. So I decided to just throw them up here on the board. I had plenty of room. Using the blackboard, heck yeah, these are sweet looking. And that's that. So let's get into just a little bit, because the last video, hold on. It's summer Tennessee. It's hot as balls out here in the freaking barn. Whew, I swear to God. I either freeze my ass off or sweat my ass off. God. Who knows why I have any ass left? So anyways, let's do a teaching moment here. Let me get something pointy. Where are my tools go? Okay. I'm also using these cool little things here to guide my things around. So, let me explain this first channel to you. One, this right here, this is my cathode cap switcher. I put it here. I got some nice room. That's going to be sweet having it there and not here. So, the relays are going to switch what's going into what as far as input. But the input goes here. You got your 68K metal film. This is blocking radio frequencies. If we could get it closer, we could, but it is what it is. It goes here. Then we have here, this is an old Altec tube preamp thing that I've used in previous amps, and it works really nice. It's very clean. I've done a little different here. I use this type here and a ceramic here. I'm gonna see if there's any difference. Previous amps, I used ceramics. I used the polypropylenes. Seemed to work good. I'm gonna try this ceramic here. Oh, I'm just trying to get this ground out of the way. So what I have here is you got your signal from your jack, from your guitar. It goes in here. You got a 100K resistor here. From here you have your million ohm. And from there you have your 47 nano capacitor. This is noise reduction, trying to kill some bullshit noise. Because anything that goes into your first stage is where all the noise gets amplified and totally sucks balls. Once it's in this, it comes out the other side, yeah, you're pretty much fucked. You're living with your noise. So a lot of it is right here. So this helps mitigate some of your noise. The fact it was a rolled mic pre/phono amp. Basically, high frequency elimination. So anyways, so that's the difference between how we normally do it, which is guitar, 68K, going to the grid. So we have a little bit of mitigation here. I don't have it connected yet because we're dealing with all this crazy bullshit. And of course, comes out the plate. Now we have my cap here. So we have your cap here. I have the power coming from the previous stage from underneath. So it's here. Here's your 100K resistor off your plate. Then it goes through your capacitor. Gets twined down by your, can you even see that? There's a resistor down here. Through a resistor to your gain knob. Of course, in your gain knob, it goes back in. It's a very simple circuit. There's no switching, not like this one where you got these bunch of shit. So you got your gain, and your gain goes back here. Got a nice 10K resistor. It's a grid stop resistor that goes into the grid of stage 2A, whatever. Now, what we see here, we know that because it's going to go out directly into the cathode follower stage, we have another plate resistor on that first thing because it is technically a plate follower into a cathode follower, even though it's referred to, or at least I do refer to it as a cathode follower, plate follower into a cathode follower. It's both halves of the tube working together. I have this as 150. I built this a while back. Engineers show me this. It's clean. It is so clean. You get, with a combination of that and the lower cathode resistor, it's a little less gain, but it's nice. It's nice and clean. It's super fucking clean. So we have 150 going there. Now you see that. There's your plate. Your plate is heading all the way to the grid to the cathode follower stage. And we have power. Remember, on your cathode follower part, your plate is getting direct current. This one also I have coming from underneath. From wherever I have it here, I don't remember. I think it's that one. I think this one comes underneath. Yeah, this one's come underneath it here. So this is direct current. It's also feeding this. It's another plate resistor. So it's feeding straight voltage, no resistance into here. Now what I have, I did this before and it works great. This is my X. This is my W. Which means that the plate on the cathode follower is higher voltage than my plate on the plate follower just before going into it. Don't tell me or don't ask me all technical specs of that. All I know is it totally goddamn worked. And it works very well. So you have a little bit more voltage coming off of your cathode. So your cathode here, remember, signal wire, so I didn't use black because it's a cathode, and it goes into here. Now what I have is, when I built this the last time, as much as it didn't have a fuck ton of gain, it was loud as shit. I mean, I could not get this amp past 3. It's like this. Does it go to 11? Screw 11. Couldn't get past 3. It was loud. So I'm trying to cut the volume down. So what I did, I still like the 47. Still like the 150 to 47, even a 39. A 39 is pretty nice too. But I decided to go with a 47. So what I did is I split the difference. I have a 20K resistor here and a 27K resistor here. So in series, that's 47K. But it's acting as a voltage divider. So I hit the tap in the middle. So that's roughly over half of your voltage is going through. So a little less than half is mitigated out. Now, I think I just discussed this in the previous video when I was discussing what I was building. So I have my, my 250 picofarad going to my treble. But what I did is I got my 0.1 here going into my tone knob. Slope, whatever you want to call it, slope in your tone stack, your resistor that goes to your mid and your base. It's called different things, but some call it your slope resistor. So this is a 0.1. So I put this and I went into, too many goddamn wires in here. Sorry. Shit, there we go. So I got that into my tone. And I got a 10K for an input to the regular output to make 10 the minimum resistance. So when you turn it down, it has at least 10K, so you're not going to shit. So what I did, now it goes in there and it goes out the ground port. So we're not using the middle, except for this resistor. So what I did from here, this is why I put it in between my base and my mid. It would be better somewhere else, but this is more functional, because I can literally just take the capacitors that you would normally have in your tone stack going from your signal off the plate, or in this case off the cathode. Those capacitors that would go to your mid go to your base. Now it goes off the ground lug on your tone, your slope, whatever you want to call this thingy, and I can go direct. So I go there, boom, it's in there. So now I can adjust that resistance. I saw the video on it. It's freaking pretty cool, so I decided to put that on there. You know me, add some shit. And that's what it is. So that goes in there. Everything's gonna end up running into the goddamn volume as soon as I'm done with that. Well, actually no. Take that back. Here's some beer, I'm tired. Allergies are killing me, and some guys have been power washing forever, so this freaking sound sucks ass. Thing about summer, it is so much louder in the barn. Anyways, what am I doing? Sorry. Okay, sorry. It goes to my treble. I forgot. This is not this channel. So we got the output from your tone stack. It goes in another 10K resistor into the last stage, plate follower stage. Boom, 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 does its shit, comes out, and here, and then it's gonna hit your volume. And this will eventually go into my relay board. What's going to happen is either going to flow to your inverter, or it's going to ground it. Because what's going to happen when you're dealing with channel switching, which I actually need to reverse these. I did this wrong. I need to reverse these two. They are wrong. This one's right. These two are wrong. You have to ground it because you have your input going into both these and they're feeding their individual channels. When the channel's not on, boom, it grounds. It grounds that first grid. Ground that son of a bitch. So we're all good. Because if you don't ground it, it goes, makes a bad noise. Well, because it's not connected to the back end, it's not gonna do anything. It's having problems. So you ground the shit out of it, it's fine. Then you ground the back end. It's not totally necessary, but I like grounding it because you got all these caps that are charged as shit. And if you switch over, you could get a pop. So through this, through all the pots, through all the stuff, it drains them. So you don't get a pop. It does work. I've tested it. It works great. So ground the grid in your first stage. Ground whatever is coming out, your volume, whatever you got, ground that on the back end. And you do it on both. It's pretty cool. Whew, God, it's hot. And that's channel 1. We've already discussed channel 2 because we did that in the last video. So we all know what's there. Like I said, this one does the same thing. Grounds the front, grounds the back. The only difference is because I have a gain volume switching, is that, oh man, sorry. The gain volume switching relay is what feeds the channel switching relay for the back end. So whatever this side is on is getting drained out. Tone stack, it should have drained the tone stack either way because they're both connected. They're just out, out, out. And that's that. So I did go orange drops on this side. I do like them. They never failed me. And that's what I'm working on. I'm not gonna get, like I said, we've already gone through all the crazy shit. And I'm just showing you what I'm making and why. What I'm gonna do to the box of this thing is something I've never done, extremely dangerous. But I think it's gonna be pretty freaking badass. I'm not gonna talk about it. I may have already talked about it, I don't remember. But once I build it, so these videos are gonna be a little more sporadic because it takes time to do this. I actually have to practice on the thing I'm gonna do the box, but this box is gonna be badass. And I think that's it. Please comment, unless you're an asshole, then go fuck yourself. But if you actually have questions, ask me, because I'm only doing this to pay it forward. And if I'm not explaining enough, ask me. And if I can't answer, I'll let you know and try to find the answer for you. And that's why I do this. So go get a beer. If you don't drink, well, you know, do whatever it is you do. You have a good weekend.